Hey,
I'm Taron Egerton,
I'm Hugh Jackman, and you're
watching
on Red
Red
Eye.
Eye.
So we are both in Eddie the Eagle, a movie that comes out February 26th. It's very inspirational, cool sports,
Buddy comedy.
underdog story. I think you're going to like it. So anyway,
Please check it out.
check out that and check out our hilarious interview.
Thank you, Red Eye.
This movie really has the idea that it's about kind of the journey, not the destination.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they compete, at least in American sports as kids, get participation trophies just for playing. What do you think of that concept? And if you're into it, at what point do you think kids should stop getting participation trophies?
I don't know. I mean, I think the idea of participation trophies has got to be a really, really great thing. I think kids are under enough pressure as it is, without encouraging them to be the best too early.
So my school had a thing which I still to this day think is awesome. So on your school report, the last thing anyone really looked at was the mark out of 100, like 70, 80, whatever. The first thing that was always mainly counted by parents and by teachers was the effort rating, effort 1 to effort 5. So it wasn't just about, oh, you were in the race. It was like, how much effort did you put in?
Oh, wow.
And the people who got certificates and were brought up in front were all the ones who got effort 1s. They may have been bottom of the class. That's what was prized. I actually think that was kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah. So if the person who came in first wasn't really trying, they should.
Totally. Right, but if you think of this movie, you think like Eddie never won a jumping competition ever. He comes, spoiler alert, he comes last, but actually the whole crowd and everyone, you see what he overcame and you see what he had to do. He's sort of the most inspirational.
Well, you've praised his courage to do these dangerous jumps, even though he had minimal experience. Where is the line between courageous and crazy?
Yeah, he was dancing.
He's
on that
dancing.
line.
He's dancing back and forth. Yeah.
By the way, anyone doing that sport is dancing on that line.
Yeah.
It's hard for me as an Australian kind of to really understand ski. I kept thinking of it in terms of surfing, right? So everyone surfs, but the people who do jaws, that break in Hawaii, the 50 to 100 foot sort of, it's that kind of thing. Like the exhilaration when you nail that, when you nail a ski jump, the exhilaration is a high that you can't really achieve anywhere else in life. And yet when you don't make it, it could be the end of your life. And I think living on that edge is just intoxicating for those guys.
Is there something
And girls.
knowable then if you die ski jumping, skydiving, whatever, as long as it was the thing you love? Is it like, well, he went out the way he lived?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it's not an idea that speaks to me particularly clearly, but I mean, I think Eddie would probably say, yeah, if you love something enough and it's what makes you truly happy, then it's worth the risk.
Yeah. I mean, same with racing car driving, all of that. There's some pursuit and living on the edge of that life and death, which is so admirable. But, I got a friend who's a racing car driver, and he said the moment he had kids, it became really hard to justify his personal desire, So I think it's certainly good with ski jumping. It's a young man's sport or woman's sport.
Well, Hugh, I know as a kid you jumped off the roof thinking you were a ski jumper.
Into the pool. Not
Just-
quite, not quite
I was
the
going
same
to say,
thing.
was there any injury you ever sustained from that, or it was only into the pool and you were
Just
fine?
into the pool, I was okay. But my form was spectacular.
I'll bet it was.
Yeah, it was a big jump.
Yeah, it was.
I got some air. It wasn't just it. I did feel like I picked up some buffering and,
Between these two Olympic sports, which do you think people maybe assume is hard because it's in the Olympics, but it's actually easy? Or harder than you think people think it is? Luge or javelin?
I think, what one's luge?
That's the one where you're lying on the, like the bobsledding, but single, right?
Yeah.
Are you on your front or on the back, the luge?
You pretty much just lie down and zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to have nerves of steel for that, though, right? Because they go pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. Remember, it was the last Olympics when that person
Guy
died in the
came out,
practice
yeah,
jump. I
yeah.
mean, it is... I think the thing is, really anyone can throw a javelin. I'm not saying how far, right? Anyone can throw it. But I don't think anyone can do a luge.
No.
And it is life-threatening.
No disrespect to javelin throwers, though. Of course, no one can throw it quite as far as they do.
Well, exactly.
Unless
No
you're
one can.
unless you're Wolverine.
No one did it. What I said came up wrong. Anyone can throw 100 meters. No, but anyone can at least throw it. but I think the luge.
Luge is pretty specialist,
Yeah.
I think.
Which do you
Misleading.
think? Which do you think would work better, Eddie the superhero or Wolverine the ski jumper?
I think actually
And
Wolverine would be a good candidate because you're going to fall over a lot and break a lot of bones, and he's just like, no problem, just keep going.
No, wrong.
Wrong.
Eddie would make a great superhero.
Yeah.
I think that's the movie we all want to see, right?
What do you think your superpower would be?
The ability to jump from great heights and bounce back.
Not charm the ladies.
Not charm the ladies, no. So, for example, he could jump out of a window here to a sort of disaster scene below,
Yes.
and he'd just bounce back.
It's kind of great.
I mean, bounce
I love
and
it.
gradually get down, and then he'd
I
be able
love
to
it.
fight the crime.
You're not old enough to remember Greatest American Hero,
No.
who could fly, but he didn't know how to control it, so he crashed every time he came down. And do you remember? You're too young too. The Greatest American Hero. Come on, people! It's a great TV series. Believe it or not, I'm walking on a never. That's my publicist saying no.